session. We have already done 6 verses. And Acharya is taking us, he started with showing us the insignificance of mundane knowledge. Then, then the insignificance, or he advises us to give up the thirst for money. So, mood jahi dhanagam. That's the second verse. Then in the third verse, he wants us to stay away from all sensory objects, and in that he gives example of Nari Stanvar. That was the third sloka. Last time we did, and then the Acharya is showing us the urgency of doing it right now, because then he says that the life is so fragile. And that sloka we did last time, that is Nalini Dalagata Jalamati Taralam Tajjivitam Atishaya Chapalam Vidhi Vyadabhimana Grastam Loka Soka Atam Cha Samastam. So the life with the which is we don't know, and we see it all the time around us, what can happen. Then he shows the futility of all our relations, whether it may be in our professional circle, in social circle. So he says that as long as you are able to render something, the people are interested in you. If you may be a chairman of the department, but as long as you are capable, say you may be a president, but as long as you are in power. No? So yavat vitto parjana sakta tavat nij parivaro rakta. पश्चात जर्जर देहे वार्ता को अपनी न पुच्छति ग्रहे. Means you will be ignored, you will be left out when you are not able to produce something for others. And then he says that even though there are very close relations in the family and everything, they are very temporary. And then he gives an example of yavat pavano nivasati dehe, as long as the life force is going on, tavat pushati kusalam gehe, gatavati vayo deha paye. When that breathing stops, gatavati vayo deha paye, bharya bibhyati tasmin kaya. Even your own wife will be scared of that body. Here it shows clearly the separation between the body and Atman. So far we have learned all these things. It's urgent that we have a clear understanding, clear thinking. And now Acharya says that we have wasted enough time, so much of time. So he wants us to be very selective and intelligent in making the choices. So he gives an example. So the today's sloka is the 7th verse where he says Balastavat Krida Sakta Tarunastavat Taruni Sakta Vruddhastavat Chinta Sakta Parme Brahmani na Kopi Sakta. We all know this. So at different phases of life, like in childhood, Bala Stavat Krida Sakta, when it is a childhood, Tavat means at that time, Bala Stavat Krida Sakta. Krida means playing. Child has nothing else, except playing is the only of interest, and that's the ultimate goal for in childhood. So Bala Stavat Krida Sakta means attached, absorbed, soaked. So Bala Stavat Krida Sakta. And that childhood, as you want to watch video game, these cartoons, playing with the toys, then as a bicycle, tricycle, all those things interest you and nothing else. If you tell them to study, it is painful for them, and anything else is painful for them. So when that phase goes, this taruna, and enters into teenage and gets older, under the influence of hormones and everything, now his interest changes from toys and games to opposite sex. So the boy is interested in girl is interested in boys, and nothing else. So that becomes very major attraction, and that lasts for long time. And to enjoy that and fulfill that, you need money, you study and jobs, and 3-4 decades are washed out. So taruna stavat taruni sat. And as it passes by, the body has a limited capacity, and it is going to get old and depleted in energy. So the old age sets in, and as the old age sets in, your senses become dull. Even if you want to enjoy, your senses don't cooperate. So senses become dull. They get fatigued by enjoying the things. In medical term, we call psychosexual fatigue. No, no, nothing. Even if you want to stick to that, you can't. So now the attention is diverted to the limited time that we have, the body ailments, and approaching death. The people get so kruddha stavat chinta asakt. He's totally occupied by worrying about his health, his limited time, and there is a hidden but occult fear of death. So he is always worried. So he dwells not in present, but he dwells into the past, which was glorious. So all old people, they talk about, oh, when I was in England, and when I was in 40s, and when I was a judge, or when I was such and such. So they dwell on those sweet memories of their success stories, but they don't want to think about today and tomorrow. There is future. There is no future. We all know the ultimate destination of body or biodata or history of a body is it ends in death. It's unlike Indian movie which ends in a happiness and joyous and happy ending. All lives end, no matter king, queen, anybody, is in death. So that is the reality of life. So that's why Acharya says that straighten out your priorities and start thinking. If you start thinking and live intelligently, because we are all intelligent beings, we are not animal beings, so we don't only live on sensory level, hopefully we live on intelligent by using our intelligence. So instead of mechanical living, Acharya says live on intelligent, use your intellect and make the right choices, because all these choices that you made so far has left you with no lasting benefits, no lasting relationship. Only lasting relationship, scripture says and Acharya says, is that with the God. Every other relation is temporary and is going to end. So that relation with the God is eternal. It is like a relation of a wave with the ocean. That relation will not end. It will dissolve into ocean. So it will merge. Similarly, the individual soul, all of us, and super soul, God, that relation is eternal. Whether you die tomorrow or you live for another 20 years, that relation will continue in eternity. That's why Acharya says that think about it. We all got distracted because of the power of the senses. So this Upanishad says that the God has created this equipment called human body is defective in the way that it has 5 open gates through which we roam out and go out in the world and get attached and attracted to the objects of the world and get entangled in that. It's not defective, it is his design. This is his Maya Shakti. He could have made it so many different ways, but that is the way. So that's why in Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, Indriyasya arthe rag dvesho vyavastito tayo vasam na agachet Yohi ayasya paripantino. Word by word. Indriyasya arthe. For senses have relation with the sense object. Indriyasya arthe. Rag, dveso, vyavastito. There is established raga and dvesha with the objects of the world. Indriyasya arthe. Rag, dveso, vyavastito. Tayo vasam na agache. Don't come under its influence. Tayo, don't come under the influence of raga and dvesha of the object. Tayo vasam na agache. Why? Yohi asya paripantino. They are the robbers in your path. Paripantino means robbers. To traveler. So they will rob you of your energy and time. That's what. So that Balastavat and Tarunistavat, it is the influence of the Maya is so powerful, nobody can come out unless. There is unless you go on the spiritual path. So that is extremely important. And same thing, King as Astavakra, sage Astavakra tells to King Janaka, to king. So he says, Muktim ichhasi chetat. Oh my son, if you want a mukti, liberation, or want to come out of these bad and bruising experiences of life, that's muktim ichhasi chetat. Visayan visavata teja. Give up all the objects of senses, sensual objects. If you want liberation, mukti, moksha, want to be eternally happy, all same. So muktim ichhasi chetat. Visayan visavata teja. Like a poison, you don't want to go near poison. Visavata teja, like a poison. And then he says, and then you adopt kshama, arjvam, daya, tos, satyam, piyusvata bhaja. You don't go near the sensory objects because it's going to derail you, make you unhappy. And you consume, piyusvata bhaja, means you consume like a nectar, what? Kshama, forgiveness. Arjvam is straightforwardness. Kshama, arjvam. Daya, tosh means santosh. And satyam, piyusvata bhaja. If you do this, Raja, you are free today. You have to do this, otherwise do continue to do whatever you are doing. Your time will pass and you will be in your home soon. So that is the fact for everybody. So the Acharya guides us this to avoid, and we have made plenty of mistakes, all errors, and so he says, wake up now. So how do you wake up? So the Acharya takes us to the next verse. So he says, intelligently ask, Kate Kanta, next verse, that is verse number 8. Kate Kanta, Kaste Putra. Sansaro vichitra. Kasyatvam kahkut ayata. Tattvam chintaya tadhi bhrata. Acharya says that intelligently ask this question, but we are so busy and entangled in this world that nobody has a time to sit down and think. You have to sit down and think. You want to start a new business, you sit down and think. So for everything we have to sit down and think. But for getting God realization or ultimate truth, we don't sit down and think. So Acharya says, ask, Kate Kanta, who is your wife? Kate Kanta. Kaste Putra, who is your son? Sansaro ayam ativa vichitra. This is very strange world that you have come. Who is your son? Who is your wife? Ask that question. Kasya tvaham. Who are you? Where you come from? Kasya tvam. Kaha means who? Tvam ayata. Where do you come from? Tattvam chintaya tadhi bhrata. think about this reality, tattva means essence, find out the truth about this. From there you will get the clarity. So, kasyatvam kah kut ayata kate kate kanta kaste putra sansaro am ativa vichitra. Kasyatvam kah kut ayata tattvam chintaya tadhi brata. My brother, here he calls brother, there Astvakra calls king, my son. So they are all full of concern about us. No? So he says, think about it. There is nothing like husband and wife. That is we all are separate souls. The souls are moving to their destination depending upon their prior karmas and prarabdha karmas which have fructified now. So they are going through the journey. I am going through my journey. My wife is going through her journey. And what is husband and wife then? No, there is nothing. They were individual strangers with their own personalities. For some reason, with attraction and destiny, they came together, and a priest or a judge implanted an idea and a new sanskara that from today onwards you are husband and wife. That's what they say. I now pronounce you husband and wife, Mr. So and so, and Mrs. So and Miss so and so. So there is no absolute entity called husband or wife. They are roles. They are temporary roles. And they were essential, and the purpose was that these two with the different roles come together and ask the same questions and continue their spiritual journey together. So it was so now we know what is your wife and what is your son. And what is your son? That also it is a product of Panch Mahabhuta. So body is Panch Mahabhuta. In the soul that comes, that is God. So that is God's done. Otherwise, we are product of Anna. That's why Bhagavad Gita again. In Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, Annad bhavanti bhutani parjanyat anna sambhava yagnat bhavanti parjanya yagna karma samudbhavam. He tells Arjuna that annad, from food, you are a product of food. Annad bhavanti bhutani means all beings are product of food. Annad bhavanti bhutani. From food, the body is created, the energy is created, as male and female seeds are created, and with combination another human being is created, body is created, and the soul is implanted by God. So your son is nothing else but a Panch Mahabhuta and a soul which was roaming around, and he thought that your house, your circumstances are very befitting for the remaining imprints and vasanas of your son, roaming soul, was very appropriate for your house, so that's why he put it there. So that is your putra. So he is also an individual entity or soul. So we all are co-passengers. So these our Upanishads give very good example that we are like pieces of logs floating in a big river and going here and there, and some logs they come together, travel for some time, then they get dispersed, get stuck in some stones and have different destination. Another example to explain better, the saints give, and that is our own experience. especially in the old time when the train travel was very long and you are going from Bombay to Calcutta, will take you 2 days and 2 nights, and you make friendship with the passengers in your compartment. You talk for because and come so much closer. You share your food and your beddings and everything, and become very close to each other. No? But as the stations come, they will start going, says, okay sir, now I have to get down here at Kanpur or Nagpur, because that's where, oh no, you have to go, no, I'm going to miss you, and then we exchange the telephone number and all those things. But we knew that we are different passengers and they must get down at their own destination. Here we don't know when that soul who is traveling with us as our daughter, wife, husband, or a housekeeper, as when they will get separated and go in different direction, depends upon God. So this is the ultimate truth. But these thinking will come only when you want to think and live intelligent life. If you don't want to live intelligent life, only live by driven by sensory thirst and sensory impulses, then this path you will never think about it, and that's what happened to us. So we all acquired so many things. We spent years and years. That's why Swami Vivekananda says life is too long unless wasted. He did so much in his short life of 38 years, and we are 76 and still struggling here and there because of the distraction. So these all great Swamis, they tell that live intelligence. So here in this verse, Acharya is asking us to ask this question. And when you ask these questions, the clarity becomes very obvious. And then, not that you ignore anybody, no, you do all your duties, you love your housekeeper also, you love so much. Love with compassion, with kindness, you render services to them and pamper and do everything that you are required to do. But do not demand, do not get entangled, do not establish ownership, and then you will be fine. There was a very good picture of Lord Krishna and the 4 teachings that we printed in front of the book, that do anything you want to do, but do it with, I call it HDLC. You remember we discussed that high density lipoprotein cholesterol, that is because cardiology so remember this, do anything and everything but do with HDLC. What H stands for? Humility, devotion, love and compassion. Do anything. If you do with this, you are a master. But don't do it with legs. Legs means what? L-E-E-G. Don't do it with lust. Don't do it with ego. Don't do it with envy. So don't do it with greed. So L-E-E-G. So lust, ego, envy and greed. Don't do it with that. Old scriptures are encompassed in Lord's these 4 do's and don'ts. So these once we know that, then you are on the right track, and lot of things, good things happen. That's what the scripture says. And we have to all try, Then it's like says, okay, this container has sugar and it tastes very good, and you have to, but you have to try that. That is sweet, So each individual has to try. So that is what Lord wants us to do. Ask this question, intelligently navigate through the world and take this spiritual path. Then what happens? A lot of good will happen to you. That's what the scripture says. Then you become likable, you are loved by others, and you love others, and all your difficulties and problems get solved because of the grace of God. So we have done all those slokas, which come in Bhagavad Gita at different places. So, but that is the spiritual path. So lot of good will happen to you. And try it. And as God says, even physically, lot of good things will happen. You will get got a long life. Even prarabdha can be changed. Means your destination. Your future. That's why Vivekananda says we are the creator of our own destiny. Because so that that path becomes easier. God gives you strength, physical strength, intellectual strength, and
Atul, we need to mute. We are hearing all these noises behind it. Atul, you please mute yourself.
Yeah. Okay.
Atul, you please mute yourself. I hope you understand. Listening.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, go ahead. Yeah, he got it.
Okay. All right.
Okay,
So intelligently ask this question. That will put you on the right path, and that is called a spiritual path. And a lot of good will happen to you. And any events or any distress of the world, you will not even feel it, because they are all happenings. They lose their teeth. They won't be able to cause you sorrows and sadness. That regular human being without the spiritual knowledge feels, because you have diluted your ego. You have not nullified, but you have made it milder, and so that you don't get hurt as much as without the spiritual knowledge. There is one way of knowing whether you have a lot of ego or not. I found out this, that if you get hurt easily, there are some people say, you hurt my feelings. The one who is complaining that and telling you know that they have a very big ego. So that is a sign of a ego. Otherwise, nobody will say that I have a big ego. No, everybody will say, oh, me, big ego? Are you kidding? I am the most gentle person. No? So, but if you get bruised very easily, if you become very sensitive, that means you have a lot of ego. And the only way of diluting ego or nullifying the ego is by doing good, charity. Charity is the one thing which dilutes your ego. Why? Because ego is very selfish, so it doesn't want to depart with 1 cent. So if you take the pratipaksh bhavana, opposite, that is charity, then your ego slowly gets diluted. So this is besides the point. So to understand this, God says that you take a right path, So this is that comes to the third sloka. That these all things come from satsang. Whether we are doing satsang on Zoom, we are doing satsang in a book, or we are doing satsang in person. Person is better, second is Zoom, and third is reading. And so it's in that order, because face to face, that's what is recommended in our Upanishads. Upanishad means up means near, and sad means sit. Sit near a man of knowledge and learn these things. That is Upanishad. So Sat Sangha. So now beautiful verse comes. This is, if we understand this, we are done. So it says Sat Sangatve Nisangatvam, Nisangatve Nirmohatvam, Nirmohatve Nischala Chittam, Nischala Chitte Jivana Mukti. 4 steps, and you are done. Sat Sangha Gatve Nisangatvam. Sat Sangha means what? Satsang. What satsang we did? customarily understand that there is a people, a group of people sitting and doing bhajan kirtan or listening to some sadhu purush. That is a satsang. No, that is not. This is just one component of it. But that is not satsang. Satsang has a very profound meaning. Sat sangha. Sat means eternal. Sat means non-decaying. Sat means without blemish. And what is that? That's the only thing is God or Brahman and your own soul. So that is Sat. Sat Sangha. To understand that Sat, to think about that Sat, to understand about that Sat, to go on the path to realize that it's called Satsanga. And this satsang, the one who has already traveled, that person, sadhu purush or mahatma or swami, is the one who has read the scriptures, who has a devotion for the scripture, who has a love for you, who is ready to explain to you. That is the company of such a person is called satsang. Learning from a person who is Shotriya Brahmanista. That's how Upanishad says. No? Tad Vignanartham Gurumeva Vigachet. Shotriyam Brahmanista. Which kind of Guru? One who is well heard, well versed in scriptures. Kshotriyam, who has heard the scriptures for a long time and absorbed, and who has travelled on this path, and who is established in God Himself. To this person you go. So in fourth chapter, Lord Krishna says, Sriyan Dravya Maya Yagnat Gnan Yagna Parantapa Sarva Karma Khila Partha Gnane Parisamapyate. Arjuna, of all yagnas, Gnan Yagna. Gnan Yagna means what we are doing now. Gnan Yagna is the highest. And if it is so, then he says, Tad vidhi pranipatena pariprasnena sevaya upadekshayanti te gnanam gnanino tattvadarshina. Know this. What? That the knowledge is the most important. Tad vidhi means knowing that. Tat vidhi. Pranipatena means prostrate, means with your ego put aside. Pariprasnena, kindly asking your questions, your doubts. Pariprasnena sevaya, you serve the master. Pariprasnena seva. And what will happen? Upadekshayanti te gnanam gnanina tattva darshina. And that person, that Swami, that Guru will in turn give you and add this knowledge, because scriptures are very difficult to understand on your own. So you have to listen from somebody, you have to then Sravan, then Manan and Nididhyasana. So you have to do it. But only just by books, there are books and books, libraries are full of them. But you won't be able to understand. So tad vidhi pranipatena pariprasnena seva upadekshayanti te gnanam gnanina tattvadarshina. And then what will happen? Very nice, no? See, yat gnatva na punarmoham evam asyasi pandava ena bhutani asekshena drasyasi atmani yathavani. And once you get this knowledge, your all delusions will go away. So that delusions will go away, and then you will see me in every being in yourself, and ultimately you will see every being in me. Tad vidhi pranipatena pariprasnena sevaya upadekshayanti te gnanam gnanino tattva. Yat gnatva na punaramoham evam, you will not come under the delusion of the world. Evam asyasi pan. Ena bhutani means every being. Asekshena means entirely. Drakshasi atmani, in yourself. Yathamai. And then you will see it in me. Means you will become Brahmagnani. Means nothing will bother. So that is the significance of a satsang. How it happens? In company of a master, company of a Swami, company of the man of knowledge. And there are plenty of them, and God has made certain that He has people with such people all over. Only thing we have to be interested in that. And this satsang for great swamis, no? If you go to Ramakrishna Mission and those who become the sannyasis, it's for them. And you go to the Swaminarayan Sampradaya or any place where there is these monks and swamis, means the people who are dedicated as want to realize God. Satsang includes 5 things. It starts with Sravana. You listen as much as you can, not once in a while. Sravana. And with Sravana will become, the knowledge will start settling into. Then Sahavas means you spend time with them. Sahavas. Then third thing is Seva, you serve. Swamis don't need your seva, no. but seva for the godly activities, what these swamis stand for. They don't need any seva. So then samarpan means you become totally dedicated to that path and that Swami. So those things. So Sravana, Sahavas, then Seva, and that will produce Sneh. There is one more component. Sneh means when you are spending time with such a man of knowledge and learning from them, you will automatically develop affection, Sneha, affection for Swami or Guru, Sneha, and that will lead to Samarpan, means whatever the Guru says and shows the path, you have understood that, and you are totally dedicated to his teachings. So these 5 things when happen, that is called satsanga. So when that happens, satsangatve nisangatvam, your attachment with the world will loosen up. Satsangatve nisangatvam. Nisangatve nirmohatvam. When there is no attachment in the objects of the world, there is no moha or there is a desire to acquire it. So it will drop out. So satsangatve nisangatvam, nisangatve nirmohatvam, nirmohatve nischal chittam. When you don't want anything, there is no hankering, there is no trishna, then your mind is serene, like a calm lake, and that means there are no disturbances, there are no oscillations, and that is called sthita prajna. Nischal chitta means sthita prajna, means your intellect and your mind is everything. So mind is defunct now, as far as these outside influences are concerned. So nisangatve nirmohatvam, nirmohatve nischal chitta. The moment that happens, nischal chitte jivana mukti, and then you attain the jivan mukti while living. While in this body, mukti is not after death. After death is birth. After death, unless you are a great soul, you will merge with God. But after death is birth. After death is not mukti. So those who wish to and follow this path, they feel liberated while living, and the joy is so much so that it is not possible to describe. That's what scripture says, that you get so happy because you don't want anything. If you don't want anything, there are no demands, there is no hankering. Whatever you do is just a product of your love for the world that you are doing. Not that you want something from them. So that is called Jivan Mukti. And Jivan Mukti, earlier it happens, better it is, because you have a lot of years where you walk like you are a king of the universe, and you don't need anything, but you understood that. So that is what that is the ultimate knowledge. So nahi gnanena sad, again Bhagavad Gita, nahi gnanena sadrasham pavitram iya vidyate tata swayam yoga sansiddham kalena atmani vindanti. One who has chosen this path and started traveling on this, he will know that in a due course, not in this long time. So nahi gnanen sadrasham, like equal. There is nothing equal to this knowledge that we are talking. Nahi gnanen sadrasham pavitram, purifying, pavitram iha means in this world, pavitram iha vidyate. Tata, that, swayam, the one who is doing that, tata swayam yoga sansiddham kalena atmani vindanti. He will know from his within. He doesn't have to go and ask anybody. He will know that he is getting to his destination. It is like you are going to Kashmir and you are approaching and you go through the Delhi and you are going nearer, and then you start feeling the coolness of the Himalayas. It's the same way you feel the coolness of God and these ultimate knowledge. So that is satsang. Satsang has tremendous importance, no? And there is a test to find out whether you are successful or not, because we are all doing satsang. So what is the test? It's called FIR test. FIR test. So frequency, F stands for frequency, I stands for intensity, and R stands for recovery. Of what? Frequency. Frequency with which you feel sad, dejected or unhappy. So frequency will become less. You will be always happy. Intensity means you will not be in a bad mood or sadness or agitated for a long time or intensely. So frequency, intensity and recovery. Still, if it happens because of the big events in your life, you will recover from that very quickly. If these three things happens, know that you are progressing in the right direction. So frequency, intensity and recovery. That means you will not get disturbed, you will be happy, you will be joyous, you will be smiling, people around will be happy, you will be happy, and nothing in the world can make you unhappy. That is the beauty of this path. And but this path is for who? This immediately God tells that this knowledge, Shraddhavan labhate gnanam tat para sanyatendriya gnanam labhva param santi nachirena adhigacchati. Only the man of faith, Shraddhavan. See, God is so, oh my God, God is God. So immediately that sloka comes. First he said there is nothing as purifying as this knowledge. And immediately he says Shraddhavan. Shraddhavan labhate gnanam. Only man of faith will get that. Shraddhavan labhate gnanam. Tat para. He is tat para. He is dedicated to God. Tat para. Sanyatendriya. With the control of senses and mind. That's Gnanam labdhva param santim achirena adhigacchati. Not long time he will get this param santi achirena adhigacchati. Means he will get this peace, eternal peace and joy very soon. Who? Shraddhavan. Shraddhavan labhate gnanam. We have done all these slokas. Shraddhavan labhate gnanam. Tatpara sanyatendriya. Gnanam labhva param santi. That's what we want. We all want param santi. Param santi means param happiness. Param means highest. And param is eternal also. Param santi. Nachirena adigachati. Not long time. Achirena means not long time, but immediately. And then he says, Agunasya asraddhadanasya sansayatma vinasyati nayam loko asti na paro na sukham sa. But if you are a doubter, you are finished. We have done all this sloka in detail, no? So I'm not going in much detail. So that is satsang. So satsangatve nisangatvam, nisangatve nirmohatvam, nirmohatve nischalchittam, nischalchitte jivanamukti. Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam, Bhaja Mudha Mate. So the Acharya is trying to wake us up, and this is a very powerful sloka. So